I made this video yesterday, which is today now, but I'm gonna post it tomorrow. You know how that goes. Because I got a thought, not just the political thought, but something that was going through my mind and my heart before I got the phone call from Mr. Long. Having a rough day. Other than preaching, sometimes I'm generally not an emotional person. I tend to hold things together. I tend to put on the brave face, and it's important to. I don't think it's necessarily important to let everybody know what I'm going through at every moment. Sometimes it's just something that I'm going through and I'm processing, and sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes I'm happy and sometimes I'm sad, and today would probably be a bit of the latter. Have been for a few days, as I've been processing different decisions I've had to make, and different directions my life is going, directions I wish it was going and it's not, and there's a whole lot of stuff attached to that. And there are people that I talk to. I have mentors, and I have counselors, and I have friends that I can share my heart with in a safe place, and God's really blessed me that way. But I was thinking about, the sadness that I'm feeling, and I looked on something on Facebook, and it was, if you could take a pill and change your life and you get, $1 million or this or that. And one of them said, be happy all the time. And you know what? I said, I would never take that pill. Never take the pill that I would be happy all the time. Do you know why? Because sometimes being unhappy teaches me more than being happy ever could. The Bible says this: it's better to go into a house of mourning than a house of laughter. And it's like, wow, that's a pretty intense statement. But it's true, because this is what happens when we go into a house of mourning. We begin to process a lot of things that happiness just doesn't bring to mind. It causes us to consider more of who God is, and how is God real in my life? How does obedience make me feel, as opposed to how does obedience make my life? Because how it makes my life and how it makes me feel might not be the same thing. A lot of times it's not. Going into a house of mourning causes me to contemplate the heavy things in life, the difficult things in life, and process it from the perspective of how would God have me respond? How would God have me think about this? How does God want me to interact with this in my life? Sometimes it's not my sorrow, somebody else's sorrow. That's going to a funeral, or coming alongside somebody who's struggling, and just listening to the story and listening to the sadness and asking myself the question, how is God real in this? How is God wanting to minister to this person in this situation? And not thinking it from the perspective of, how can I make everything feel better? But how can I learn to be better in this situation? Right now it's all feeling, and I'm feeling sad. And there's some good reason for that. But one of the things that, as I've been talking to people, in this sadness, is what has got me here. And a lot of it is a lot of issues in my life that, had I dealt with earlier, maybe I'd be in a different place. Had I been more healthy in my heart and in my mind and in my spirit, maybe I would have seen things differently, or seen things more clearly, or acted differently. But at the end of the day, this is where I sit. And God is saying to me, it's like, okay, how am I real to you right now? And He is very real to me right now. Not that He's making me feel better. but he's showing me who he is and how much he loves me and how much he cares for me and how he has been real in my life to bring me to this spot. And um, that's good. I hope that's an encouragement to you. God bless you.